when you race for yourself, you race for a team, but when you race for yourself, it's you get the glory.
Yeah.
When you race in a team for endurance.
Well, endurance is different. It's like a different. You still, when you win on endurance, you still feel like a sense of achievement.
Yeah.
You feel a really good sense of like teamwork, because especially a 24-hour.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard. Horrendous.
We were chatting about this because this is again why I think if you did your own, when the telly stuff comes down, if you sit down and do your own channel and tell everybody the ins and outs, because I'd be like, right, 2 hours. What did you say? It's 50-minute stint.
Depends on the track. So it's with you, like it's with the fuel consumption. So Spa was about 50 something minutes.
Okay.
Bordeaux is a bit less.
Right. Okay.
Le Mans and Suzuka is almost an hour.
Right. But then you go, oh, okay, so let's say it's 100-minute break between you getting off the bike and getting on the bike. Yeah. In my head, I was like, right, okay, so you go in, get your levers off, you cool down, you get some food, you go sleep for an hour.
Nah.
You get back, and you were like that, not a chance, man.
No.
Not a chance.
No, because by the time you come in, you sit down, you take your helmet off, you have a really quick debrief.
Yeah.
Most of the time you speak to TV, so that's another few minutes gone.
Yeah.
Then you need to get back to where you get changed.
Yeah.
It's never next door, so
it's not like World Championship or British Championship then where you walk out the back of the garage and go in your lorry.
Yeah, well, it depends where, but like in Spa, for example, it's like you need to have somebody that takes you, it's like a 5-minute walk or a scooter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so a scooter, you get there, get changed, quick shower, rehydrate, try and eat something. Yeah, but every time you lose time. Time's just.
But then you're like,
goes.
you don't go sleep. You're like maybe a 10-minute.
You don't have time, because if you go sleep too much, you can't. You wake up. I've done the mistake once. Honestly, you feel dreadful. You wake up. If you sleep like 40 minutes, you wake up and you just feel so grumpy and so horrible.
Yeah.
It's worse. So for me, anyway, I tried loads of different things, and it's like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Max. So if I fall asleep with the physio, because normally you have physio, and then they call on the team calls basically the physio, to tell you to get changed when there's so many laps left.
Right. Okay.
So you're with the physio, and I always tell him if I fall asleep after 10 minutes, just wake me up. Yeah. And after 10 minutes, you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I fell asleep, but you're fine.
Yeah.
If it's
anything more, you start to.
Yeah, you start going deep, and then he wakes you up, and it's like you want to throw your boots at him.
So like last year, when you win in, you literally finish in podium, champagne. I'm going to bed. Everyone else is partying, and you're like,
yeah.
Could you?
Now that's the thing with endurance. You always think, yeah, we're gonna have a big
tear it up.
Yeah. Oh mate, you have like 2 sips of champagne on the podium, and you're absolutely gone, like gone. You can't even walk.
Really?
Yeah, because you're knackered. Well, you're destroyed, like physically, mentally, emotionally. Just everything is gone. So you're really you can't, and especially if it's a 3 o'clock start, because it's like 3 o'clock. You woke up the day before at 6 or 7. Yeah. Then you come do the warm up or whatever. Right. Okay. And you have a 3 o'clock start. Then you go all the way around. So after
you're getting on for
podium and all that, it's I don't know, it's 6 or 7, and you're.
So you're getting on for like 36 to 40 hours awake.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And having raced.
And you've done 9 stints. And you're
which are essentially GPs. You've done 9 GPs.
Yeah, you've done 9 GPs. Well, they're a bit longer because GP is about 47 minutes. So it's longer than a GP. So you've done 9 GPs in a row without sleeping. Yeah, it's horrendous. Have you done 24 hours before? No. It's horrendous. It's so hard.
I probably would like to do it. It's having mates who want to do it with you, because this is what we were just saying.
Yeah.
It's like to be fair to Greg last year, because Greg crashed and he snapped the handlebar off at Spa.
Oh yes, he crashed on the oil or something.
Yeah, and then he jammed the handlebar on the side of the bike and rode it back. But weren't you leading at that point?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, it's not his fault because he didn't make a mistake.
No, it was the oil. But endurance is like that. It's like you got the oil, you got the race, racing with the things can happen when you're overtaking people or whatever.
Because Gearbox went in the same race.
Yeah, and then you got mechanicals.
Yeah.
I mean, these are really annoying because you push during your stints. You're smashed. You can't feel your legs anymore. Your knees, everything. You're just knackered, aren't you?
Because what people don't. You'd think it's an endurance. Just go steady. Just
absolutely not.
Bollocks, isn't it?
No.
First 3 hours, it's like the last lap of the race.
Even after, if you have to push, you have to steer. Like in Spa, we were doing. Well, it's quite simple. We qualified doing. I think I did 20.5.
Yeah.
And then in the race, I did 20.5.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah. I think I remember watching one bit. You were on maybe 4 hours in or 3, and like you just done fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, that's it.
And
you keep the pace is basically as fast as you can go. That's what it is. So it's not really endurance. It only becomes endurance when you got a big gap.
Yeah, okay.
And there you can
start managing.
Or the last couple of relays, if there's nothing to win or lose,
yeah,
you just ease off completely.
So
and short shift everywhere and just save it back.
What do your 3 teammates, or because as a team boss, I can't imagine they go and get 3 riders that are the same. So what, like, why are you 3 together? Do you know what I mean? Like, all 3 of you are really fast, but is it because you're all quite similar, so the bike can sort of stay in a certain window?
Yeah, that can be a factor. I think about the same size, same weight, something like that, because you want to, like, the ergonomics on the bikes are important, especially for long racing, because if you've got a really small rider and a really tall rider, for example, for the tall rider, if
he can't fit
if the footrests are too high, his knees are going to be destroyed after a couple of runs, and then the lad can't change direction anymore. And if he's too low for the small rider, he can't reach the. So that plays a part. Weight as well, probably a bit, because the chassis setup. You need to be about. It's better if you're the similar size, I think. And then I don't know. If I was team manager, I'll try to find personalities that are like complementary.
Okay.
Yeah, but I suppose like you're just there to do a job, aren't you? So it doesn't really matter. If
but it's when you look at like you 3, you're probably. I mean, Yacht are pretty, but you look at them and you've got 3 really strong names.
You know? Yeah, but Yacht as well. And FCC as well. So I mean the top teams, there's nobody slow there.
No,
everybody's.
But the top, I suppose because it's like really GP experience. You, Nicola Canepa.
Yeah, Nicola's really fast. Yeah. But the other guys, I mean, Annika and Fritz are really quick as well. Yeah. And they've done a few World Superbikes last year. They're quick guys. So all the, like say, the top 5 team, everybody's fast.
Yeah. So what do you compromise on with bike setup then versus, say you were going to go and race your Suzuki at Worlds? Yeah. What do you have to compromise on for an endurance race?
Not much actually.
No,
just the only thing that I'm weird with is the front guard. I like the front lever really close to my hand.
Yeah.
And Etienne and Greg use the like a standard position.
Right. Okay.
For me, like I can't ride like that.
Yeah, I can't.
But fortunately, you can adjust that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like really easy, with the.
So you'd roll down pit lane doing that, or
yeah. I normally put it back as well for them.
Right. Okay. Such a nice guy.
If I'm not in a bad mood, like before the 3rd relay, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing. Otherwise, we're about the same size, so footrests. Okay. If that was me, I probably would have them a bit lower. But
you kind of have to
sort of like a centimeter or something. Okay. So I'll just.
But there's no 1-2 for it. There's no like number 1 rider or nothing like that. You just
No, there's none of that.
Okay.
We've got Greg does the starts because he's very good at starting.
Yeah.
He runs fast.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen him running. It's like the
sprint. Full kit on. Yeah.
So he's got a great sprint.
Yeah.
And he's very efficient at starting the bike because you have to. The bike is in 1st gear. You go across the track.
Yeah.
You clutch and start it, and then go. But he's very good at doing that. So
okay.
So he's our starter. And then that's it. Last year I was 3rd. Like 3rd stint.
This
year I'm 2nd stint, but it makes no difference.
Why? Any reason why that was changed, or just
No idea.
no? They just tell you what's.
Yeah.
So who makes the strategy in a race then? Who would? Because you've said before where you've had to you've come in and they've double stinted you, like if a track's dry in or anything like that. Who makes that?
It depends. So if a track is drying, if you're on wet and the track is drying and you decide it's the rider that makes the call then.
Right, okay.
No, sorry, that way around is the team that makes the call. So they can see that, I don't know, somebody in slicks is faster than you.
Okay.
So they call you in.
Yeah.
Normally they would ask you to restart because you know the track conditions, you know where the drying lines are, and it makes sense. But that could happen that you end up doing a double stint. I actually had that once in Suzuka, of all places.
Yeah.
Which is, Suzuka is like the hottest.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we did the start in the wet, and it stopped raining, and after 45 minutes it was time to go to slicks. So I went in, put the slicks, and I restarted. So I did like almost 2 stints.
But I imagine like you've drunk your camel pack going round in your first stint.
Yeah,
they ain't filling you back.
I'm nearly there.
And then they're
like, you actually got on the sign they give you on the pit lane. Yeah, they give you there's a code for like your double stinting.
Right. Okay.
So in your in lap, you know already, and it's like what? So they they're going to give you a drink.
Yeah. And
you know that within the time they change the tires, it takes about 4 seconds, and do the fuel tank another 10 seconds. You're gonna have to try and drink as much as you can.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Why at Suzuka then do they bring more riders in? So like Johnny will come in. And
well, not this year. But normally, yes, they draft riders from World Superbikes, GP sometime. Yeah. So because it's a special event for the Japanese manufacturers. Right. Okay. So they Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and Suzuki all want to win the race. Yeah. So they put special teams in. Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily lose your seat then. They just put an extra bike out almost. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I used to just do it. 2017, 18, 19. I was doing the Suzuki Tower as a one-off. Right. Like Suzuki would ask me to just go and do Suzuki Tower for Yoshimura. Now that they are part of the Food Championship. We've been doing the Food Championship since 21, but that's what it was. And at the time, when Yamaha had their bikes, they drafted like Paul Espargaro, Bradley Spears from GP. Alex Lowe's did it a few times for Yamaha. Kawasaki, Johnny Ray. This year, Honda's got Lecuona and their two Andiere, they're two guys from World Superbike. So they just draft riders. We have Jack Miller doing it when he was on a Honda. Nakagami. I mean, loads of guys have done it, and historically, loads of like Valentino's Valentino did it with Colin. So it's just an important race for the Japanese manufacturers. Is that your favourite one? I don't know if it's a favourite one, but it's like it's a special one because the track is special and it's quite a tough one, and you can tell it's really important for it's like for the manufacturers. Home pride kind of thing. Yeah. So the bikes are they try and do as much as they can, and they it feels like a special event. That. Okay. Yeah. So that was 18 was your first full time year. 17 was your first full time year, and you've done it every year since Suzuki. Yeah, except the COVID years. So it was off 3 years. Yeah, off 2 years. Was in 19 and 20? No, 2021. Right. Okay. Yeah. 2021. So yeah, but it's something. Yeah, you watch it and then when we've spoken about it more and more, like what you put your body through. Suzuka, the last 15 minutes, you just you're like you can't really function anymore. Yeah, because the humidity's brutal, the temperature's brutal. Yeah, it's like to compare it something. It's like being inside a sauna or a steam room. For an hour, racing a bike. When you go to a spa or something and you go in the sauna or the steam room, you stay there 15 minutes or 10-15 minutes, and you start to feel a bit like I need to get out of here. Yeah. Don't you? There's no So, there's no getting out of it. The next time try and do like 20 minutes or 25 minutes in a sauna or in a really hot, humid environment. Well, sauna is not humid, but or a steam room or whatever. And it's funny for 10-15 minutes,
but
then it's not funny at all, because your brain is telling you to get out, basically, but then you can't get out.
No.
So you have to, and you're exercising.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
in ladders.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
Yeah.
You're pushing a superbike, so it's physical. So your heart rate is high already. Dehydration makes it like peak.
Worse.
Yeah, it makes it worse. So you end up, very, very dehydrated. You end up with massive fever as well. Yeah, we checked. They've always done it. We've got like a team of physio, and we got they look after us.
Yeah.
And you end up. I remember this one year I was 40.5. 40.5 is like you have to go.
You
to
got hospital.
Yeah. So obviously you go take your ladders off. You go straight in the ice pool.
Yeah.
Or the cold pool to bring. It brings the body temperature down pretty quickly. Like in 5 minutes, it's cooling.
Because everybody's on those now. Those like Lumi pods, isn't they? You buy them at like 100 quid. And
stuff like that. Or you just have like a paddling pool
full of ice. That's what we did.
Or full of cold water. Same thing. So your body temperature, it cools you down. So we do pre-cooling as well. Like you pre-cool yourself before getting changed.
Okay.
So you don't start sweat. It delays basically the overheating, because effectively that's what it is. You sweat, and then when there's nothing to sweat anymore, it's like an engine basically.
Yeah.
If there's no more water in it, it's just going to creep up.
Yeah. Okay.
Eventually it blows up.
So do you monitor like heart rate when you're on a bike and stuff like that?
No, I did it a few times, but I know what it's like now.
Right. Okay.
So,
what would your heart rate be on a bike? What's the peak?
It depends. It depends as well on the riders or the.
Like Miller's is ice cooked, because when they used to do like GPs, wasn't it? Like Jax went down when he got on the bike.
Yeah, and then Mavericks was never working.
Yeah.
It's like his heart. It's like really. So mine is is like low.
Okay.
So but whatever your maximum is, that's where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just. Do you what's been like your fit? Obviously, we haven't even gone to World Championship, so go on and jump back. 09 injured, 10 was.
10 back to World Superbikes with Asawe.
Right. Okay. On Suzuki.
Yeah.
And then 11 was.
And 11 was private Ducati team.
Right.
With the Effenberg team.
Yeah. Was that the yellow bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty bike, that was.
Yeah. It was a really good bike, that actually. It was a very good private bike. Yeah. So I did that 2011 and 12.
Yeah. Okay. Because 13 was World Championship, wasn't
it? 13 was my first year at Aprilia. Yeah. 14 won it.
Was right. Okay. Which year did Max win it then?
12.
12.
So Max retired at the end of 12.
Yeah.
And I got the ride.
Right. Okay.
For 13, 14.
Yeah. Because that was fighting Tom.
Yeah. Yeah, so Max won it by half a point. And then Tom won it in 13.
Yeah.
And then I won it in 14. Over Tom as well. So Tom was always there.
Right, okay.
For the championship.
Yeah.
And
then 16
15 I won. So I pretty much stopped at the end of 14.
Yeah. That was a pretty bike as well.
Yeah, it was a great bike. It was a really good bike. And it was before the rules changed, so they were actually very, very fast as well.
Yeah.
Then from 15, the World Superbike rules changed with they had to use standard.
That was it. You had trick timing gear on the World Superbikes, and the road bikes were different, weren't they? They were like
and also special gears. They could use different pistons, different rods, I think. Yeah. And then from 15, it all went to you had to use the standard
stuff.
So the power went down quite a bit.
Okay.
Quite a lot. 14, the bikes were very fast.
Yeah.
Like really, really fast. That's one of the reasons why up until then, Tom, for example, Sykes was very competitive, because his riding style, he needs a fast bike.
Yeah.
And then it became harder for him.
Yeah.
But it was also the perfect timing for Johnny,
because he carries corner speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his riding style was good. So this is why he was, well, not why, but one of the reasons why he was so successful and so good.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see now the natural limitations of the engine in the Kawasaki and the Yamaha. Like, you hear of all these, like what people are saying the Ducati is supposed to be making.
Yeah.
That engine configuration in the ZX10. Well, there's only so much power you can get out of an engine.
They've got problems as well. The issue is that because to basically brought that rule to stop Johnny winning.
Yeah.
That they dropped them, what was it, 1,200 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
So for a manufacturer, you've been developing your engine doing that kind of producing the power at the top there.
Yeah.
It's also a problem for gearings.
Yeah.
Because when you drop like that much revs, you need to use like much longer gearings.
Yeah.
So then, because you don't have the top, or you need to shift one more gear and take it off before you brake, which is not efficient.
More. Yeah.
So you lose. I mean, it's a lose configuration. This, and then obviously the manufacturer reacts by homologating an engine,
developing in that window
that's going to work better in that window. So even now, them giving them more revs,
the engine doesn't work in that area.
It doesn't work there. No. It's not there anymore. So it's difficult to rebalance like that. And for Ducati, they've got that many revs anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. Yeah.
No. I don't know. I'd love to see Johnny have a go on a Ducati. I think
he's got another year contract.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting with Toprak on that BMW.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
Do you know if Phil Marin's going with him or not?
I think he is, yes. Well, that's what I read somewhere.
Yeah, that'll be it. Because that's kind of the done thing now, isn't it? Like your crew chief almost. It started with Rossi and Burgess.
Yeah, and then
the Yamaha.
Well, we see in MotoGP as well a lot. It is because that kind of like, obviously the crew chief as well knows a lot more.
Yeah.
About what you need.
Yeah.
In suspensions, in power delivery, in engine brake setup. He knows your particular needs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big deal if you can get, especially if he's good and you've got a good relationship. It's a big deal to bring people like that.
Yeah.
And they are also familiar with what the other manufacturer is doing.
Okay.
So it's a massive added. You know, a bit like Jack Miller went to KTM with Christian, his crew chief.
And they know what Ducati are doing and what.
Yeah,
and
they
now
know
KTM's
exactly
strong.
what they do, track by track. The little marginal gains where they know all that. This is massive know-how. Yeah. So yeah, for a factory, for a manufacturer, you would want to poach not just a rider.
Yeah. The technical staff as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So Aprilia was probably your best. If you look back over your career, your World Championship years, is that the best year you rode?
Yeah, I enjoyed that, and rode well. It was a really it was a very good bike. That I got good memories of it. Yeah,
but because I remember that, and then obviously that, and then you start looking at the names as well. Like, well, you were racing around as well. Like obviously Johnny, Tom, you, Chaz Davis on the Ducati.
There was Chaz. There was Melandri was my teammate.
That was a big one.
Because he changed Eugene Lavetti, which was very fast as well in 13. He almost won the title in 13.
Yeah.
And then
that was it, because Johnny helped Tom get over the line, didn't he? To beat. No, Johnny. They weren't teammates then. What was the last year Tom won his World Championship?
2000.
No, it was 15, wasn't it? 15 was Johnny's first championship, wasn't it?
Yeah, 15
and
was
in the last race, Johnny helped Tom get second. That's what I'm thinking of.
Did he?
Yeah, in Abbey.
Oh, in Qatar, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Yeah. McLaren.
Yeah. What was I saying?
Eugene was your teammate.
Yeah, Eugene, and then Melandri came in 14.
Okay.
So I thought in the winter of 13, I thought, shit, that's not going to be easy, because obviously Marco is a very
yeah,
and that was a very Italian team.
Yeah. Okay.
So but in the end,
You alright to work with?
Hey?
Was he alright to work with?
But I didn't have to work with him. But no, he was probably not the best teammate.
So who was your best teammate? Where it didn't.
I had loads of good teammates actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I got on well with most of them.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And you still sort of speak to a lot now. I know you chat to a lot now, but.
Yeah, no teammates in World Superbikes. Well, my last teammate was Alex Lowe's.
Yeah.
So we get on well.
Yeah.
Before that was Mikey Van den Mark. We get on really well as well. Before that was Marco, a bit less.
He was never on the telly anyway. They always put his wife on the telly because she was like 6'4". That's another one. My missus always used to joke about that because we'd sit and watch World Superbikes, and they'd show in the pits, in the garages, and it'd just be her.
Yeah.
It would never be him.
Yeah, but she was always there.
Yeah.
And then.
So afterwards he went to BMW, or was that before?
No, he was BMW before.
Right, because they wiped each other out. Who was it? Was it him and Leon? Wiped each other out.
It was Johnny. There was like all coming together in Goddard.
Yeah. Johnny stuffed Leon and
Leon crashed into Milano.
Yeah.
But actually, nobody's fault. Johnny just being a bit naughty inside, but no, it was a racing incident.
Yeah.
But that was before. That was 2012.
11 or 12.
11 or 12,
okay.
Yeah, I think that was 2012.
Yeah.
Melandri should have won the title there. He had a massive gap, and then he had like 6 DNFs in a row or something at the end of the year. Yeah.
It's funny because you sit here and you look and you look at yours, and like I said, I knew you from watching GPs.
Yeah.
But like when you start looking before where you've come from, you don't see that big sort of meteoric rise anymore, really. And then you look at some of the others that have come through, like Jake Dixon. 12 years ago, I was building his engines in Supersport.
Yeah.
And racing him at the same time. Well, I say racing him. I was on track when he was on track.
Yeah.
Same as like Alex and Sam.
Yeah.
My first year in Supersport was when he was on that GNS Honda.
Okay. Yeah.
In 2010.
Yeah.
And he mate.
Yeah. And then
no one
just before he went to World Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was very good then.
Yeah. And you sit there and start looking at who you've raced and where they are now and what's gone on, and you've gone GP, British, World, it's
everywhere.
And to start it all off, if you didn't win a championship in 1999 or 98, you wouldn't be here now.
No, but that's how it works. I think it works like that. You have to grab opportunities. Sometimes you get a bit lucky, you get good opportunities, and you have to try and as well. The thing with us is you get hurt, so you have to bounce back quick. You have to, it's what it is. And most of the time anyway, it's 1 year deals.
Yeah.
I've been on 1 year deals since 2000.
You were alright with that? I suppose if you've been on 20 years,
they're 1+1 or whatever.
Okay. One with options,
but that means 1 year basically, because if you don't perform,
you're out the door.
Yeah, so you're constantly under pressure of performing, which is great because that's what makes it exciting.
But you must have exceptional feel for a bike to work in the development side.
I think it's just over the years. You just get.
Because
I don't know why. If I ride a bike, I know I kind of feel. I feel what's going on, and mostly I feel what I might need to be better. Yeah.
So the MoTeC project then.
Yeah.
Because that led to a world champion. You must be super proud that.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, it was good to be part of that. Yeah, because when I first joined, there was a lot of really already qualities to that bike, strong qualities, but they had a few issues. So it was good to be part of the team that managed to try and help them to make it work. Great part of that.
So what do you think the biggest improvement that bike went through then to make it a world championship winner?
Engine and mainly the engine.
Because it always looked like it handled.
Yeah.
It was just
like
the Yamaha a little bit. It just had no poke down the straights.
Yeah. So they worked a lot on that. But the problem, the issue with that is that, especially in MotoGP, you need to have usable power. So that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Because these bikes are very powerful. So if the power is not delivered in a good way, and not just for positive torque, but also negative torque, it needs to be. It needs to be right. Yeah.
Because we went to World Superbikes at Donington the other week, and I was stood at Melbourne watching with the boys.
Yeah.
I've stood there 1,000 times and watched British loads. And you realise actually how much speed comes from going into the corner.
Oh yeah. Well, in Worlds they make. The biggest difference from and this is also because of the electronics.
Yeah.
From British Superbike to World Superbike, in World Superbike you can brake a lot harder.
Yeah.
So when you go to to watch World Superbike, they part the bike quite a bit more, like especially in corners like Melbourne. They just brake so late and so hard.
Best track?
Phillip Island.
I said Phillip Island. I crashed Phillip Island. Have you crashed Phillip Island?
I've crashed many times at Phillip Island. Yeah, but I still love it. Yeah, I crashed a lot there. The local hospital is not so local as well.
No, it's a long old way.
It's about an hour in the ambulance.
Yeah,
I remember that. They also sent me a £6,000 bill for that.
Didn't they?
Yeah, it was like, I couldn't believe it. 1 hour in an ambulance, £6,000.
Ah,
that's a lot of money, haven't you?
I've got a friend that lives in Brisbane, and whenever we go out there, we go and so I hired a BMW, and I've ridden it a couple of times. But
it's just the best track. There's just nothing like that.
I think the only one I haven't ridden that I think is like Mugello must be close.
Yeah, Mugello is good, but it's not like that. Like Phillip Island is more raw. It's more
feels
and
flowy.
It's the place.
Yeah,
it's the place as well.
Yeah.
It feels really good, and it's like the sea and the whole thing. It's special.
I do what I mean.
And Portimao is good. Spa is good. Mugello is good.
Yeah, Spa. I like Spa. That is just terrifying. I don't know how you do that.
Spa is very scary
with a candle for a headlight.
Mate, the first time we went to Spa was last year.
Yeah.
And after, so I done my first run. I was so lost on the track, and I said to him, I said, look, this is not right. We need to cancel that race. This is so dangerous. And it is.
It's the run out the bottom, isn't it? A lot, like
the whole
you're
thing.
so fast, and
it's like
wall.
Yeah, and it is. It's a great track, but it's so dangerous. Yeah. And when you're not familiar with it, because the walls are so close, you feel like you're doing 400 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So
another lad in Open Wheel Championship passed away the other week. There.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's just. Yeah, it's hard.
They hit the wall and then bounce back. Yeah.
But further down Camel Straight.
Oh, okay.
So after,
but Camel Straight with a superbike is not really a straight.
Oh no, that's a massive kink.
You come out and you wouldn't want to go through that in the wet, would you?
No.
There's a wide line as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of lean angle. Yeah.
And the wall.
Page money, mate. You know what I mean? This is must. Like we've already spoke about this, this is where I really struggle with being charged to ride a bike, to race a bike, and risk my life. Do you know what I mean? Like it's different if it's your job and you're getting paid.
Yeah.
You make the choice, but you're being compensated. Yeah. But to pay someone to go and do a hobby, because
on another hand though, that was like the first thing. But then when you get used to it and you start putting it all together. It feels good.
Because what's after 130R at Suzuka? Come out at 130R, that fast left before the chicane.
Yeah.
That looks like the wall is there.
Yeah, well, in the left. Yes. Yeah. The left. Yeah. Well, this is where Gino had an accident, and this is where Kato died. So it's not the wall is just, and you're turning right, so you're like full fourth or fifth depending on your gearing.
Yeah.
And you brake and you brake with lean, and the wall is there's 2 meters of grass, so it's not safe at all, like zero. But it's what it is. I mean, it's never 100% safe. But those kind of track like Suzuka, Spa, those places, even in UK, you know, Alton, Cadwell, play.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. I know what you mean. It's. If you start going to tracks where it's completely safe, what you're talking the likes of things like Silverstone, where you've got 1 million miles of runoff and like F1 tracks almost, and they're rubbish.
Well, there's different levels. I mean, different level of safety on different tracks. But those tracks are like a bit old school.
Because it's Red Bull Ring.
Yeah.
Where they had the crash at the end of the straight.
Yeah.
And all they did was put the chicane halfway down.
Yeah, they put the I know.
And then you kind of like, but you've ruined the track. It's like Mallory. You know the long right Gerards.
Yeah.
So
sometimes there's a chicane.
There's a chicane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really want that.
But
Gerards is actually alright, except if you're paying for your tyres. It's a tire. It's a tire destroyer.
Do you like that track?
Mallory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to go. I've not been for a while. I don't mind. It's quite. It's busy. It's a good training track.
Yeah. It's just a lot. What are they down to now? Like 50 seconds on Superbike. Brands Indies like what 40, 45, 46.
45. Yeah, it's fast.
I can't stand Brands.
Tiny, tiny for. It's a bit tiny for Superbikes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Donington is a bit tiny for Superbikes.
It isn't. Yeah.
Being honest.
Yeah.
It's like use 4 gears.
That's a perfect track one half and rubbish the other half.
Yeah, it's just big tiny for Superbikes, and it is. And Silverstone is probably a bit too big.
Yeah. Well, like they do the national now, don't they? Like the triangle.
Yeah,
which
is
very
small.
Yeah. And it's
we're always moaning, aren't we?
Mate, I know.
We're getting old.
Yeah, I think so.
Just moaning.
Go on then. Let's keep the moaning up. What's your worst track?
The worst track is. It's quite a lot of shitty ones. That's difficult to pick. The worst track that I don't like to go to. I don't know. That's really shit.
Yeah. They were off there in a couple of weeks, didn't they?
Yeah, and then we raced there with the Endurance a couple of years ago.
Okay.
That's pretty bad and unsafe.
Yeah, it looks
Same.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Must is not very nice.
I don't like turn 1. It just looks like it's an accident waiting to happen. That because you brake, high speed brake, must be like second gear at the most.
Oh, no, that's first.
Is that
like
first?
30 mile an hour. It's
right. Yeah. Anybody loses a brakes coming down, or anybody outbrakes himself.
Worse is in coming back. Coming back, there's a fast right.
Yeah.
And the wall is closed, and then the corner before last is a fast right, and the wall is just there as well.
So that's why you started doing more car racing. There's a barrier between you and all these balls.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to go in the wall in the car anyway, because that would hurt. So
I feel a lot safer racing a bike than I do in a car.
Yeah, I think I don't feel unsafe for racing a bike.
No.
To be honest, when you're on the bike, you don't think of your safety, do you?
No.
You think of going fast.
I think you've got enough belief in yourself that you'd never think it will.
Yeah, you never really feel like once you do a few laps and you start. You'd never really feel unsafe, do you? Really, not really.
No.
Unless if it's wet and I don't know, or oily or situations like that.
Visor rain. Should I push? Shouldn't I push?
Yeah, this one I don't like. This one is not nice. We get that a lot on endurance as well.
Visor, yeah. Do you like racing in a rain?
If it's fully wet, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Fully wet, I love it. But in between with slicks when you don't know.
Oh no.
Not nice.
Mate, I'd rather literally if there's a breath of water on the ground, wet as are going in, I'd rather do a set of tyres and do a bike.
Yeah. There's that. Yeah.
But best moment on a bike.
When I won the title.
I knew you were gonna say
in Qatar, that was good.
Yeah, I don't think it's sunk in at all. I can't believe it. I've been picturing this last month. I've been picturing this double win all months, and I knew I had it in me somewhere, but I didn't know if I was going to find it. And those races were just great. I just felt so good with the bike. It just felt amazing. I never felt so good riding any bike before, so I just enjoyed that so bad.
It was good because it was like a big build-up,
yeah.
and it was literally last race. Whoever is in front wins the championship. Yeah. So it was like just the last race.
Was that easier to deal with for you, or like mentally, I've just got to beat him?
Yeah, mentally it's fine because I felt good.
Yeah.
I was confident that it was going to happen. So yeah, it wasn't like a negative. It was a positive.
A bit
stress.
Of positive stress.
Obviously, you're extremely stressed and focused, but it felt like it was going to happen. So yeah, and it did. So it was great.
Was there a point in that year where you were like, I've got this, or was it a little bit all?
No, because in the summer I was before going to Jerez, I was 40 something points behind. So that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, from that point, I needed to be in front every race, which wasn't likely to happen. So yeah, it's what it is. Championships,
sometimes it's easier to chase, though, isn't it? It's like trying to do a fast lap. It's easy. You've got a marker, you've got someone to chase. When you're behind, it's balls out, nothing to lose.
Well, you can lose your collarbone.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, Pecco last year.
Yeah.
It's the same, wasn't it? Come from so far back.
Yeah.
I'll do this.
Mind games.
Yeah.
Mind games, or that's what happened to Pecco when there was nothing. Well, he
Not last
kind of
year,
like rised up.
Yeah.
It was last year, yeah.
He was last year. He's miles behind.
Yeah, but when it was miles behind and he crashed in Sachsenring, so he was even more. He was 90 points behind, 91 or something.
Yeah.
Like that. And then from that point, it was basically, well, I can't win this anymore now, so I'm going to try and win every race.
Yeah,
and he did.
Yeah, it's almost like the pressure, the fact of someone going, well, you're fucked, mate, you're done.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
pressure's gone. All right, I'll race my bike then.
I'll just race and win every race now. Just try and get the race wins, and I won him the championship. It's a weird one.
Yeah. Your favourite racer? That doesn't got to be a threat. Who's the GOAT for you?
Oh, like at the moment.
Well, in his. Oh, go on then. At the moment.
At the moment, Mark.
Okay.
Marquez is the best rider. I in my opinion.
Yeah. Of all time.
Of all time, I don't know because there's many. Of all time, probably Casey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Casey of all time. Yeah.
You're gonna get loads of unsubscribe now because we're all Rossi fans here.
I know. I am a Rossi fan as well.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
I think if you have to be brutally honest, Casey was better on a motorcycle, but Valley could. It's almost like Valley could race. Valley got his greatness from beating people. Do you know what I mean? He had Biaggi, Casey. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he was extremely fast on a motorbike as well. It's just if you're asking about who was the best as in the best talent.
I think Casey.
I'm a massive Valentino fan. I was like when he was actually racing and winning, we were, like, I was looking up to him, thinking you're like an absolute hero, you know, and he is still now.
Yeah.
But pure, and he was very strong with the man games and all that.
Yeah.
A pure talent, winning on
Casey.
winning on rubbish bikes winning on inferior bikes,
Yeah.
and doing things that really shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
At the moment, you got Mark that's doing it, like, you know, putting the thing on front row and ridiculous.
You almost want to be his dad to go, mate.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Just calm down. But anyway, making things that shouldn't really happen. Yeah. And then Casey did it on that Ducati, and then he won again another title on
a Honda. I think if he'd moved to Honda quicker, if he'd got on a good bike, not a good bike because like the Ducati worked for him, but that was it afterwards. Then didn't he kind of come down out of it where the Ducati was difficult?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he'd strung together 3-4 seasons on a Honda? I genuinely think if Casey'd stayed, Marquez wouldn't be who Marquez is now. I just think.
I don't know. That's difficult to say. Both very both extremely talented. Yeah.
But I think they both changed how GP racing was done. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Valley didn't really change how they raced bikes, but Casey changed how you had to ride a bike, and then Mark changed that, like the elbow down thing. All right, people did it before, but
yeah. I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, to beat Marquez, you had to ride like Marquez. You couldn't do the Lorenzo thing.
No, and you had to do the way he does with the rear brake and all that. This is very Casey as well. Casey was doing that a lot. Like he was doing rear braking like if there's something wrong with the data, you look at it and you think there's something wrong with the sensor there, but actually it wasn't. It was just using it to do weird stuff. Yeah. You know, so yeah, very lucky to be able to see to have had that before and to be able to still see that happening.
But I bet if we were chatting to people who grew up in the 90s and watched like Rainey, Schwantz.
Yeah, I mean these were amazing in their time as well.
Yeah.
The
day I found out we were having Callum was the day Rossi lost the championship in Valencia.
Oh, when he lost.
When Nicky won it.
Yeah.
So we went to a bike show. Yeah. And I sat there and broke my heart.
Always gone lucky, Valentino in Valencia. Not a good place for him.
No, it's a weird track. It is
Yeah.
like it looks super flat.
And we go at a weird time as well.
Yeah, late.
So very late. This year, 26th of November.
Be snow on the ground, mate.
Really? It's going to be really
Yeah,
cold.
cold.
Mate, FP3.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Very cold. So, yeah. Be
So-
interesting to see how that goes.
You'd be there on camera.
Yeah, will be. Yeah, talking rubbish as usual.
But right, I think we'll have to leave it there because I've had you here for hours, mate. So thank you so much for your time.
It's been a pleasure, mate.
Enjoy your car.
Yeah, thanks. I can't
But
wait now.
I know.
I'm gonna have to run the tyres in the wet.
Yeah,
Then.
I know. They're going to be fun. At least they're sports and not races.
I think they are
Right.
quite good in the wet though.
Yeah. The
Right.
races have like no tread.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
at
these
least they're sports.
I've had a look. These look like
Yeah,
they should
they
be
look
alright.
Yeah, a bit like Cup 2s.
Yeah,
But
warm
enjoy
them
it.
up a bit.
Yeah. And then let us know when you get your lad out on a bike again. So hopefully by the time this comes out, you've seen his lad in our video with Eddie Hall because honestly, mate, he's hilarious.
Yeah, that was
Have
fun.
to bring him down.
Well, we went out on a mini bike, so we're going to go in the summer now because
Okay.
they're on holiday. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
mini bikes as much as we can. He just loves it.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about it, but
I do know what you mean. I got like Callum's just passed his test on a bike, and I know what you mean. It's hard, but if it's what he wants,
yeah. Is there anything out there that's more exciting than riding a
No.
bike? Not really, is
No.
it? So you can't deprive
No.
that from them if they want it.
no, there's nothing. I've jumped out of planes. I've raced
never done that,
cars.
actually,
Have you never
but-
done it? It's all right. It's all right. But it's not the same.
No.
No.
Bungee jumps.
I'd have a go at that. That's probably like in 10 seconds. That's probably.
Yeah.
But like, I never ever feel as calm in life as the last 10 seconds before I line up on a grid. You know when you go out in formation like that, and there's nothing in your brain.
Yeah.
That
doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen anywhere
No.
else, does it? Really?
there's no other piece like
No.
like that where your brain's empty.
Yeah. It's like almost like survival mode with survival mode kicking in and taking all the senses away from you.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing else out there.
No, I think it's like that healthy arrogance as well. That it's just you.
Yeah.
Do you know? You know what I mean?
I get exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Where, like,
It feels good.
Yeah. Like you can be you can have a bit of humility with it, but like when you won world championship, fucking come at me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
And
feels good. Yeah.
if you've never competed, even like competing to win darts matches.
And treble 20, 108.
If you have never competed for anything, trying to explain what competing and winning feels like.
Yeah. Mixing that with the BART racing.
Yeah, the
It's pretty special.
Yeah, the danger of it.
Yeah.
But I've tried to, mate. Like you do loads of track days, isn't it? There's nothing like it.
Nothing like racing. No.
But there we go. That's the philosophical ending of our video. So thanks so much for your time.
Cheers, mate. It's nice to
All
see you.
right, mate. It is good to see you, mate.
Yeah.
So
See you guys.
next video is he's going to teach Eddie Hall how to do a 1:50 around Donny.
I think we could get him down to
Mate.
155.
Yeah.
Let's try and do that.
I need to get a Suzuki though, because I can't have a load of Suzukis and then my Yamaha on the end.
It's alright. Doesn't matter, does it? You can show him corner speed.
I show him corner speed with the front wheel folded. That was my last time out, but it's all fun. If you're not crashing, you're not trying.
Right.
So smash buttons. Go and check his channel out.
We'll put a link
So
in
you
the
got to
description.
put stuff on it now,
Yeah, I've got to. Yeah.
mate. Some of the even I was watching it, going, "What secret sauce has he got to tell me how to be fast on a bike?" So
I need to spend more time doing it.
yeah, I get life's busy because obviously the MotoGP thing, but yeah, I think the insights you've got to racing, I think it'll blow up, mate.
Alright.
I think it'll blow
Well,
up. So
on that note.
and get a lad in it,
Yeah.
mate. He can be the.
He doesn't want. He's not listening to me though.
Why would he listen to you? You're his dad. It doesn't matter that you've won two world championships.
I was trying yesterday actually. Tell him about feet position and stuff. He's just starting a bit, but most of what I say is like, just let me do my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I know exactly. I know. They never listen to their dads. Doesn't matter that like.
no. And when we went a few years back with it was last year with Jake Dixon. So Jake tells him something.
Yeah.
The next corner,
Yeah.
he does it. But then I'll tell him something, the same thing.
And you're driving home like that. I want more than Jake.
It's like he tells him the same thing. So in the end, I was actually going to see Jake and says Jake,
Text him what to say.
Go and tell him to like put his hand a bit more, forward on the thing. And I'll tell him that next corner, he's doing it.
Yeah.
Weird.
You want to listen to his dad, mate?
No. So,
That's boys, though.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, it's the psychology of
Yeah.
father and
He doesn't
son.
He doesn't see what you were. He sees what you are, and you are dad.
Yeah, so it's like I'm turning him off or something like that.
Yeah, I get it, mate. I get it.
Anyway.
It's fine. Come with me. You can tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Let's roll.
You could be my riding consultant. Right. Out. Laters.